Hey guys, back with another video. Today I wanted to talk about CRISPR and some reasons why I really like CRISPR as an investment. It's one of my largest sectors in terms of my allocation. I'd say right behind Tesla, then Bitcoin / cryptocurrencies, then CRISPR. So number one is just the total addressable market. Obviously it's a very massive market. If you didn't know, CRISPR is gene editing. It's very promising. I can't pretend to be an expert on, the science behind CRISPR and gene editing, but if you guys look it up, I'm sure you'll see that, experts in the field are very confident that it will be the future. So, but the total addressable market, obviously, right now they're starting with single gene edit diseases such as sickle cell anemia, which they've already cured a lot of the patients that that were part of the trials. They've been cured for years, so it's just a matter of going through all the different processes of getting it approved. That will probably be the first one that's approved, it being used for sickle cell anemia. So so the total addressable market, once they get through, it's just going to be such a massive market. Just think about all the diseases out there that cancer eventually, if they can eventually get to some of the cancers, which they're already working on some of the cancers, there's just, the sky is the limit with CRISPR in terms of the market potential, how much money it can eventually make because of how big the market is. So that's one, that's the biggest thing. The second thing that I like is that compared to how much money that they're burning, their valuations are very high, these CRISPR companies, because the market recognizes that they are so valuable. But what this allows for is that they're not really in trouble of being bankrupt, because for the most part they can raise money and not dilute the shareholders that much because they're at such high valuations. Many of them already have so much cash compared to their cash burn rate, so they most likely won't have to do that. So that's one of the biggest things. Like usually in these pre-revenue, which many of them aren't really even pre-revenue, because Beam Therapeutics, for example, which isn't even that far along in its in getting approved, has already pulled in money from Pfizer. They had a deal like something like $300 million not that long ago. But these companies aren't in danger of being bankrupt like most pre-revenue tech companies would be in this stage of their development, because of their valuations and because they've already built up such a cash pile. The other thing that I really like is that they have a moat. So the patents for their technology, again, I'm not an expert on the intricacies of the science and everything, but I believe that these patents are a very strong moat that should prevent competition from coming in. And there's only a few companies that claim, that are able to claim these patents. Okay, so some of the negatives, I would say, I'd say there's two main negatives of these companies. And number one, I'd say, is that they already do have a high valuation, which I kind of talked about as a positive, so since they can raise cash if they need to without diluting. But it's also a negative because it limits your upside to an extent, since CRISPR Therapeutics, I believe, which is the largest of all of them, has a valuation of, I think, over $5 billion, which is very high for a company that doesn't have an approved product yet. So, high valuation. And then the second negative is that, again, it's just very hard to understand as someone who's not an expert in that field, which means I can't it's harder to follow, harder to have full conviction if I don't fully understand the science behind it. So yeah, I just wanted to provide some of my thoughts on the CRISPR sector and why I'm so bullish on it, but also some negatives of, some reasons why you might not want to invest in it. So if you like the video, leave a like, subscribe. See you next video.